What's up guys, James here coming at you, gunsmithbrand.com. Today we're going to talk about hook grip. What is hook grip? Whenever you deadlift, there's three main grips that people use. It's either double overhand, they use a switch grip, or they use the hook grip, which is where you actually hook your thumb around the bar. With those three different grips, there's a ton of different reasons why you would do each one. Obviously double overhand is the toughest of all of them. You start adding more reps or weight to what you're deadlifting, the bar starts to become harder and harder to grip onto. The bar will actually start to roll in your hand. So it will roll from the base of your palm all the way into your fingers, and then eventually it'll slide out of your hand completely. And that's just because the bars are on bearings, and so they roll. And so as you start to lose grip on the bar, it will start to roll through your fingers and roll out of your hand. Double overhand is the hardest because there's really nothing preventing the bar from rolling into your fingers. So generally, if you can double overhand a lot of weight, your grip strength is amazing. This is why most of the population who deadlifts, they do a switch grip, which is where you actually take your weaker hand and you actually rotate it outward. And so now you have one hand overhand and one hand underhand. That way you can grip onto the bar. The way your hands are set up, it won't be able to roll out of your hand. This is a great way of deadlifting. 90% of the population does this. The only issue with switch grip, since one hand is supinated out, it puts a lot of tension on your bicep. So as you start to get heavier and heavier weights, it puts a ton of tension on your bicep. You have a greater chance of tearing your bicep if your hand is turned outward. Okay. A ton of people have torn their bicep deadlifting, and generally it's always when they have that supinated hand. Another reason you don't want to have that supinated hand is it creates kind of a muscular imbalance. If you think about it, when I'm gripping onto the bar like this, my body is situated in such a way that not the same muscles are working each way. I'm getting a ton of bicep here. I might be getting more lat activation because I'm able to activate it more with that overhand grip. So you start to develop kind of imbalances through your body. For example, a lot of people, as they deadlift with that supinated grip, they start to twist their body. So I'm actually twisting into my right hip as I deadlift. And so generally you can start to kind of control that, but if you're inexperienced and you don't really know how to work your body correctly, this can become a major issue, and you start getting hip issues or overdeveloping one side of your body as opposed to the other. It's not to say that supinated grip is a bad thing, but it's not the most effective. Hook grip is looked at as the most effective way of holding onto the bar and deadlifting. If you look at all Olympic weightlifters, who are generally considered some of the strongest pound for pound people in the world, they all hook grip when they clean or they snatch or they jerk. It's all hook grip based. So this is how you hook grip basically. So when you're hook gripping, you're basically going to take this crook of your hand and you're going to drive that into the bar, and that's going to allow you to get the thumb across, and then you're going to grip over the top, and you're going to try to grab as much of your thumb as possible, and you're just going to hold on for dear life. You're going to get both sides, and then you're able to hold on to the bar. You can see it's not going anywhere, but you can see the whites of my hand. It's really putting a lot of pressure on that thumb. So the only downside to hook grip is it's extremely painful. You're locking your thumb in, and the bar is putting a ton of pressure on your thumb while it's locked in, and so it becomes extremely painful. It makes hook grip not as appealing to most people because it is so painful when you first start doing it. But like I said, it becomes easily one of the strongest grips you can ever have. It's equivalent to having like straps on the bar. Once you get good at hook grip, you can grab onto anything pretty much. The reason you want to go in from the top kind of like that and then scoop in is because if you have smaller hands, your thumb is not going to be as long and your fingers are not going to be as long, so you got to try to get as much space created as possible so you can get that thumb across and loop the hands over the top, or loop the fingers over the top. A lot of people say that if you have small hands you can't hook grip, but I don't think this is the case. I think it's just kind of an excuse. As you do this more and more, you create a little bit more space and it becomes easier to do. It just takes time like anything else. So if you have small hands, don't worry, you can still probably get away with hook grip. It's just gonna be a little bit more difficult, but it just takes time as well. How to implement hook grip into your training. So like I said, it's super painful. when you first start doing it, you're not going to be able to do as much weight as you traditionally do over under. You'll probably be able to do equivalent to what you double overhand deadlift. After a while, after a couple months, you'll be able to surpass what you previously deadlifted. It just takes time and acclimation. So you basically have to just build up the calluses on your thumb, and eventually you'll build up calluses to the point where it doesn't hurt for you to hook grip and for you to put the pressure on your thumb. It takes a few months to get acclimated to that. So ways to implement this into your training in the meantime: obviously you don't want to just drop off the weight that you've been doing and lose those gains. A good way to start to introduce hook grip is to do hook grip as kind of like your back off sets. If you go to a heavy 1 rep max with switch grip, and then maybe you back off and do less weight and then do that with the hook grip, and so you're getting some volume and some back off sets with some lighter weight that you would be doing anyway, but you're practicing your hook grip on that. Also, a good tip from my buddy Vic up at Forever Strong in Eugene is he started doing all his accessory movements hook grip. So whenever he would do pulling motions or pulling accessories like lat pull downs, dumbbell rows, barbell rows, he did them all hook grip as a way of kind of training his body to get acclimated to it a lot easier and a lot faster. And then another way of doing that is if you're doing deadlift twice a week or you're doing back twice a week, is to maybe have one day where you're doing switch grip and one day where you're kind of doing lighter weights with the hook grip. So you're getting more volume. Maybe you're doing like a west side or conjugate style. Maybe you do your speed day hook grip. And that's a way where you're using lighter weights anyway, and you can kind of get acclimated to it. Listen to your body though as you're doing it. Like I said, it's painful when you first start doing it until you start building up those calluses. It starts, you know, feeling like you're tearing your thumb. It's starting to rip the skin open. You know, back off, listen to your body, maybe go to switch grip for that day. It's really easy to overdo it and hurt yourself, and we don't want that. Injuries are what set you back from making gains anyway, so we want to try to avoid that at all costs. So if it starts to tear, start to lose feeling in your thumb, back off, go back to switch grip, come and hit it another day. Hope this video helped. Hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. A bunch of new content coming through. Gunsmithbrand.com just dropped a bunch of new tees. This is one of them. The Built for Battle series. Link in the description box below. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.